gamepad as the robot's body. You're using that to control the upper torso of this giant robot, and you, the player, are riding inside the cockpit, which happens to be inside the giant robot's head.
でこう両方の腕をスティックでいじります。
And then what you do is, as you're leaning, you use the left and right control sticks to control the left and right arms of the giant robot.
とりあえずまず優しい敵が出てくるので倒してみましょう。
So this first level, there's a very simple enemy that he can fight against.
でコックピットから自分が見てるんですね、景色が。
What we see here on this lower screen, we see the Wii U gamepad screen. That gives you a first-person view from the cockpit inside the robot's head.
ちょっと足元の弾をレーザーで撃ってみましょうか。
And you can see these little kind of robot balls rolling around on the ground, and you can shoot those with a laser by aiming with the Wii U gamepad.
じゃあ戦ってみます。
Okay, so let's have him fight.
これね、単に倒すだけでいいんです。相手に倒されたら負け、倒したら勝ち。
The rules are simple. If you knock your opponent over, you win. If you fall down first, you lose.
Very good.
Well done.
だんだんといろんな敵、ランダムにね、いろんな敵が出てくるので。
So the enemies that appear, they appear randomly, so we'll see what comes up in this next stage.
We've been having such a blast playing it, to be honest. It's so much fun designing these robots.
Oh!
ちょっとかっこ悪いですね。なんか
Oh, that's
順
not
調
too
にいく
cool.
はずなんですけどね。
He was supposed to win that round.
次は勝ちます。
So
次は勝ち
he'll
ま
win
す
the next round for sure.
はい。できるだけね、体をこう前にかがめてる方が。
So yeah, when you're playing, there's an advantage to sort of leaning your robot forward. It helps you lower your center of gravity.
操作はこれで持つのと、あと L とR のボタンで前に進むのとバックにされる。
And then you also, as you're to control the robot, you press the L button and the R button to move forward and move backwards. And that's also important for retaining your balance.
もっと前。
So he's backing up there. Oh, there we go.
Nice.
ですね。
It's also key to use the combination of leaning together with the punches to get leverage over your opponent and knock them down like we saw just there.
Awesome. Good job.
これ日本に相撲がありますよね。で、マーシャルアーツとかレスリングではね、倒れ方もまた攻撃するんだけど、倒すだけ非常に分かりやすいですよね。
So these rules are very close to sumo. You knock someone over, you win. In other martial arts or wrestling, you can knock someone down and keep fighting on the ground, but in this game it's fall over and you lose. Oh. Come on, Tanaka-san.
Back up.
Oh, you've got to get your balance. Oh, oh. Oh, no! He's back. Oh!
みんな応援が足りないみたいです。
Hey, you guys aren't cheering enough.
いやちょっとじゃあちょっとこっちへ来て、実は最初ねちょっとエディットする画面が出てきましたよね。
So at the beginning, you may have noticed that there was a customization screen.
そっち。はい。じゃあエディットをちょっとそっちの画面見ながら説明してくだ
So
さい。
take a look at that edit screen, and we'll explain what you're doing here.
これね、体13個のパーツでできてるんですけどもね。
So the robot's body is made up of about 13 different parts.
で顔から体好きな部分に入れ替えて、でサイズを自由に変えられる。
So you can swap these parts out, and you can adjust the size independently for each individual part.
で例えば足を大きくするとこけにくいんですけども、前に進みにくくなる。
And so what you can do, for example, is you can make the feet really large, and that'll improve your balance and make it harder for you to fall over. But in turn, what that does is it makes it harder for you to walk and move forward.
でこれをそろそろ遊んでみましょうか。
Okay, so why don't you finish making your robot, and then we'll start playing.
でこれねインターネットで対戦なんかするといろんな人のどんなロボットが出てくるか楽しみですよね。
So when you take the game and you play it online, you can see all of the different robots that different people have made.
Gotta admit, I've had a lot of fun making the robots, but I've made some that are really impractical, but I love the way they look. They're just so
そうですよ
fun.
ね。 そういうパーツを使ってロボットを作る上でなかなか使いにくいロボットを作ってもかっこいいっていうやり方もありますよね。
かっこいいロボットを作るのも一つですよね。
Yeah, it's fun making cool robots, but it's also fun making useful
Yeah,
ones.
you gotta make sure it's cool and it actually works.
So this is stage 2 is the Brobot beatdown.
Nice, nice name.
これなんか電球みたいなのがついてます。
Looks like he's got some kind of GameCube thing on his head.
Oh,
頑張れ頑張れ頑張れ頑張れ。
oh, come on.
Come on, you can do it, you can do
Do
it.
it.
レッツ。
Oh, come on.
Ah.
Oh, no, no, no,
Oh
you
yeah,
can-
back up, keep
Back
that
up.
balance.
Oh, you can stand back up.
Oh. Lean and punch.
Yeah, just headbutt him.
Come on, cheer him on.
You can do it. Oh, come on.
よー
Nice,
し。
nice, nice.
Oh,
Oh, that's
yes.
nice.
後ろへバックドロッ
One
プ
more.
バックドロッ
Turn around, turn around.
プバックドロップバックドロッ
Ah.
Oh, come on. You can do it.
プ。よし。
Oh,
最後。
good job.
Finish,
You've
finish.
got one more to go.
Oh.
Nice. Good job. Awesome.
よかったね。はい。じゃあもう次のね、なんか質問。
Do you have any questions or?
I would love to talk more about the different kind of pieces we've got here, because some of it looks like really standard robot parts, but when I was playing around with Creation, I found some really neat looking pieces that I wouldn't normally expect to see on a robot, but they're
そう
really
ですよ
fun.
ね。パーツを見てみると、まあ通常のロボット的なパーツもあったりして、
はい
それ以外にもなんか
ありますよ
ロボットになりそうなものでもないのにすごい面
そうそう
白いパーツも
なんかす
入ったりして
ごい可愛ら
ますよね
しい気持ち悪い顔とか。
Yeah, there's some that you can use to make really cute but kind of creepy looking robots too.
くらーって引き出して
Make the heads gigantic.
Yeah, I cannot wait to play more of this game. It's awesome.
And there's even Russian Matryoshka dolls that you can use to
Yeah.
build your robots as well.
I made one that was like all those, just all the pieces. It was
それ
terrifying to
全部
look
使
at. It
っ
was
たロボッ
awesome.
トを一つ作ってすごい怖かったです。
I think I'm just gonna intimidate my enemies down. It's gonna be good.
これね男の子もねロボット作るのワクワクすると結構ね女の子も好きなんですよねこういうの。
So yeah, I think a lot of people have an impression that guys like to play with robots and make robots, but what we found is that a lot of women seem to like this game a lot too and like designing the robots and making them as well.
Well, you've seen my desk. It's all robot toys.
Yeah.
It's a little ridiculous. Like there's room for my computer, and then it's all
私の
toys.
机はもう全部ロボットの玩具ばっかりで。
I'm very excited for this
So
one.
this is something like just watching him play. It seems it's very obviously, like you said, a game about balance. And so when you're developing something like that, is that something you're thinking about consciously to sort of integrate the player, a sense of balance with the gameplay?
まあそういう遊び上でバランスを使ったパンチをするっていう遊びになってますけれども、そういう作りながらそれどう組み込むかっていうことももう常に考えてるんでしょうかね。
ながらモデルを作る。
So yeah, it's a little bit less about the impact of the punch and a little bit more about the motion and the leverage.
Right.
So sometimes you may be putting your arm out and using that leverage of the balance to then kind of tilt the opponent over or swinging up from down below to knock that opponent back using the leverage.
Nice.
この E3 に持ってきたバージョンはね足は動かないんですけども本当はね足も操作できるんですよ。
Yeah, in the E3 version, you can only punch. You can't independently move
What
your
else?
legs. But in the version that we're working on back at the office, you have the ability to kick as well.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
you can lift your legs and kick individually, each leg
Nice.
also.
かなりハイテクニックな。
Yes, we should. I feel like we should also say that. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. So yeah, it makes it very fun, but it also knocks you off balance fairly easily as well
Right.
when using the kicks.
I feel like we should also say that these are unfinished projects. I mean these are things that we're getting this sneak peek behind the mind
Yes.
of some of our game devs here.
で
So
も
this is
これ
great.
はまだ開発中のもの
はい
で結構初期段階で見られるっていうのはみんなにとっては特別な機会なんですね。
そうですね。楽しみにしてください。
Yes, I hope you'll all be looking forward to playing these when they're done.
I can't wait.
Oh, this is exciting.
じゃあもう一つ見せましょうか。
So we have one more game that we'd like to show you.
次はねこのプロジェクトガードなんですけどもね。
This is called Project Guard. Thank you, Tanaka-san.
Thanks.
また林さんまた
So for
Directorが来てます
Project Guard, I'm going to invite Hayashi-san, who is director on the project, out
はい
to come help out.
今のロボットのゲームもね
Welcome up.
He's very nervous.
すごい緊張してナーバスになってます。
Very, very nervous.
さっきのロボットのゲームをみんなで応援するね。だからWii U のゲームってこうリビングで一人で遊んで楽しいだけじゃなくて、周りで見てる人も一緒に遊べるっていう風に思って作ってるんですけども。
So as you saw with Project Giant Robot, it's a game that's very easy for everybody who's here to cheer on the person who's playing. With a lot of the Wii U games that we've brought to E3, we've got a big focus on not just the person who's playing the game in the living room, but also the other people in the living room who might be sitting alongside that player watching him play and being able to look at the TV screen and participate in the gameplay that way.
でこのゲームはね、もっとみんなの応援が必要なんですね。
And so this next game, Project Guard, is going to require even more help from the audience.
はい。これ上の画面見てもらったら分かるんだけど、これシチュエーションのような。
So if you see the TV screen here, it looks something like a security room.
で、セキュリティルームに12個のカメラがあります。
And you've on the monitor, you see the images from 12 different cameras on this one screen.
で、カメラがこの一つの迷路を守ってるんですね。
So you're using these cameras to protect your base, which is this little maze that you see down on the Wii U gamepad screen.
で、彼はこのコントロールルームで一人でカメラを切り替えながらレーザーでこう攻撃する。
So he's left alone in the control room of this base, and he's got to control the cameras, which can shoot lasers, to protect the base from invasion.
で、このカメラを好きなところに自分で配置できるんですね。
So before you begin, you can position your cameras, you can choose where you want them to be, adjust those positions and their angles, and before you begin.
じゃあ始めましょう。で、切り替えは全部このタッチで操作でやります。
And all of the switching between cameras and the positioning can be done using the Wii U gamepad touchscreen.
で、これ
Oh, 5.
キャメラ5、
Five's
キャメラ5、何かが来てる。
5 and 6.
キャメラ6、
5番に来てる。いきなり5番に来てる。
6.
キャメラ4。
4番4番4番4番4番4番。
Oh, 4 and 1.
6番。
Oh, 6
nice.
is running.
Oh no, he's in.
Nice. Oh, number 1. 1.
このね、
One.
青い
Oh, 3. Oh, he's there. Oh, he's still good.
So we just saw the blue robot.
青いのがね入ってくるんですよね。
He's got to come
The
up in
blue
another
ones are
camera.
attackers.
Oh,
でこ
camera
の
2.
アタ
Oh,
ッカー
there.
を
12.
このルールで今5ダイヤつけたら勝ちなんですけども。
Nice.
So on this easy
camera-
level, if you shoot 5 of the attacker robots, you'll clear the level.
Oh, camera 2.
トゥトゥトゥトゥ
Oh.
鳥が、
鳥が来ました。
there's a bird.
この鳥はね、
camera
ま
five.
あ後で説明しましょう。
No, this bird robot. I'll explain that later. 4の鳥が来
Oh,
た。
there's a bird in 4.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
危ない。
Oh, there's a bird in 10.
はい、10番から鳥が
Oh,
There you
there's a bird that's at
こ
the
の鳥はね
at
カ
camera
メラを
10.
持っていってしまうんですよ。
That bird robot will take the cameras and pick
he's
them up
got
and
it.
10 番
carry
か
them
ら
off
10番か
somewhere.
ら10番からよしよしよしよし取り返した。ああ持っていく持っていく持っていく。よし
Oh,
取り
Oh
返し
no,
ました。
4's down.
oh, camera 4 is down.
See,
はい
12.
11
Got
番
somebody pretty close in.
12番も。
12番
キャメラ
12
1、
番
キャメラ1がやばい。
Oh, 9's got a couple
Nice.
coming in. Oh,
10
number
番
9
10番
and
10番
10.
Camera
10番
10.
9番
Oh,
Oh,
Oh, no. Camera 12.
やったやったやった。
they pick
I
up
thought
some
you
speed
died. I
once
thought
you
you
get that
died.
first shot in.
Oh, 6 has some pretty close in.
Oh, they're just everywhere now.
uh-oh.
ああいたいたいた。
Oh,
Oh, he's there.
it's time to pull back to the closest cameras.
何番何番？
No?
Oh,
Number?
number 8.
What
the
number?
line. Hold
Good
the
in-
line.
7, 7, 7,
Ah.
7, 7,
あ、
7.
キャメラ7。
Oh, no.
あ
Oh.
Failure.
I love
That's
how
okay.
they look afterwards. Which
あ
is
まだ
like,
時間ありますか？もうちょっ
Do
と
we
難
still
し
have
い。
time? I think we have a little more time.
これね
We'll
今
play again.
oh my gosh.
このルートでやられました。
So afterwards, it shows you the route that the robot took
で
to get
ゲ
to
ーム
the
パッ
center
ド
of
の
your
画面
base.
には今どういう順序で敵が攻めてきたか見えるんですね。
And then on the Wii U gamepad, you can see the order and the timing with which all the robots appeared.
はい。じゃあもう一回ちょっとね一番難しいのを彼がやってみます。
So now he's going to try the hardest level.
Yeah, I haven't been able to beat this one yet. I've given it a try, but there's so much going on when you get to the hard difficulty. It's a little brutal.
ハードになってしまうと、随分いろんなロボットが入ってきて、難しくなりますよね。
これ
I think I needed
これ
more
ね
people around to
また説明します。いろんなさっきの鳥はね、カメラをこうやって加えて持っていくんですね。
Yeah, so the bird robot that you
three.
saw before, that'll actually pick up your camera and take it, and you won't be able to use it
Oh,
anymore.
number 1. Oh, 2 and 3, 2 and 3.
Oh, you got a couple in two.
Uh,
There you
Oh,
go.
and you got one of the
ほんで
little
黒いのい
red
ます
robots
よ
there.
ね
and that black robot that you see on camera 2,
で黒いロボットはレーダーに映らないんですよ
that
ね
Oh,
that
stealth.
robot
Get him,
doesn't
get him.
appear on your radar
Oh.
on
Ale, ale,
the
ale.
Wii U gamepad screen.
Oh,
That's a
4.
stealth robot.
あいつはカメラで探さないとダメですね
So you've got to look for him up
Oh,
on the
number
monitor.
1.
One, one,
Number 1.
ワンワンワンワン
あ
ワンワン
あ
もう中へ入ってま
Oh,
すね
Camera
5's got a bird.
はい
Freak out.
5番に鳥がいる
That's awesome.
5番に鳥が
One is out.
Camera 1.
Go on,
Oh,
Italy.
camera 5's out.
5番はステルスがいますよ。
UFO
Nice.
UFO
Oh, that was a UFO.
UFO が来てカメラどっか持ってってしまうんですよ
The UFOs will also appear and pick up your cameras and take them away.
Oh, number 6 has
だから
a.
あと赤いタンクが出てくるんですよタンクはカメラを攻撃して壊してくるんですね
Oh,
And then the red robots are tanks, and they'll drive up and shoot at your
あ
cameras.
今ステルスが行ったよ
There was a
Hey.
stealth
There you go,
robot
eight.
somewhere.
oh, camera 2.
Yeah,
Oh.
12, 12,
Oh, yeah.
12.
ステルス
There's the
Oh,
tank.
get him, get him, get him.
12番にタンク
No!
Oh,
12
he's
番タン
gonna.
クよ
There
し
you go. Nice.
Almost. Oh, gosh,
Oh my
10
gosh,
and
there's a
9
lot of
have a
3番
bunch of
3
folks in
番
them.
に鳥が鳥があ
10番、10番、
10番10番10番
10番。あ、いっぱいあります。
Oh, there's a bird in
あ、
9.
9番、9番。あ、
10番10
3
番
番。
9's got a
3
bird.
番3番
Oh, cameras.
あ
Oh, he's got the 9's walking away.
Oh, we're,
No.
Ah.
very nice.
これなんか今緊張してますって言ってますけ
He's,
ど
I told you he was very
すごいよ。
nervous.
Why
で
does it feel bad
こ
for
れ
robots?
ねさっきここからやられましたよね
So we see here the route where the robot snuck in.
手振ってますけどでこのデータですあれにやられたんですね
And then you can see on the data here when the robot appeared and which one got in and got into your base and got to the center.
このデータ誰が作ったんでしたっけ
So who created this pattern for the enemies to appear?
これ
He did.
すごい簡単にエディットできるんですね
So this screen lets you edit the robot patterns very simply.
でこれは彼が絶対誰にも負けないデータを一生懸命作ったんですけども
So he spent a lot of time editing the data and choosing a robot invasion pattern that he thought he'd be able to definitely beat.
それに自分がやられました
But then he wasn't able to do it.
That means it was a good design. That's good.
まあ良いデザインはできたという意味なんですね。
何か反省を、はい、
Yeah, I think I needed a little more help from the audience pointing out the cameras.
なんか応援してもらったけどなんかいっぱい言われて分からなかった
Yeah, but there were a lot of people cheering and yelling cameras out, but I think it got confusing and maybe he didn't know where to go.
どうしましょうもう一回やりますかも
Should we go through one more round?
Yeah,
I
I'd
think
say
so.
for
Please,
sure.
yeah. Let's do it.
うはい
今回こそお願いします。
これで
This time he's definitely going to do it.
じゃあもう一回みんな応援してください
Okay, so we'll need everybody to help out this time for sure.
Alright.
This
Two.
is 5 before the start. 2 and
camera
3.
2,
Yeah.
camera 3,
カメラ2、3
camera 2と camera 3。
Looks like 2.
1、はい、camera 4。
Oh, camera 1.
1, 1,
2はステルスがいます。
1. Each
Oh,
me.
あ
camera
2番にステルスがいるよし
There's you got a stealth robot
Oh,
on
camera
camera 2
9.
there. Camera 9ですね。
はい
Far.
4
Oh,
番。
four's
4番
getting
4番
close.
Camera 4.
Nice.
And-
Oh, number 1.
yeah.
What?
Oh,
Oh, get him,
no.
get him, get him.
Oh,
Nice.
good, good.
Oh, there's a bird on 5.
Oh, bird 5.
5番に鳥
5番に鳥がいる。
はい
Bird on camera 5.
あステ
There
ル
you
ス
go.
が
Oh, number 1's got a bunch coming through.
There's a stealth
Oh,
robot
camera
there
9,
too.
camera 9.
9, 9.
Nine.
Yeah,
Nice.
nice.
これ
Oh,
2
and 3.
爆弾を撃つと
Oh,
煙が出る
camera
When the
11.
bomb falls, you can see the smoke comes out to
あ
obscure your
6
view.
番6番にタンク6番タンク
6番。
ああ
Camera 6 has a tank. Uh-oh.
camera
Camera
2?
6 is out.
Camera 2.
If your cameras get shot, it'll take them a while, but they'll eventually repair themselves.
Must
2番
2番、2番。
あ
Oh, camera 10 has
Okay.
some
Oh,
sneaking in.
keep it
Oh, good.
9 and
10 番
10.
10番
Oh,
10番
bird, bird, bird.
10番10番
あれ
There's a bird in 9.
いたいたいたいた
9番は鳥がいます。鳥は9番取ってしまった。
ない
UFO も
あ
来る。
UFO 来る UFO 来た
Nice.
There's a UFO. You got that.
That's good.
As you can see, the hard level is in fact quite
本
hard.
当に緊張してるみたい。
Yes, he's very nervous.
Well, it's hard to feel bad for the robots. They look so happy when they win. It's not bad when they win.
Yeah.
ロボットが勝ってもロボットがすごい喜んでて手を振ったりもするんで、別に悪いことではないんですよね。
Yeah. I love being taunted by Rob right now. So that's
そう、
great.
ファミコンのロボットみたいな形をしたもので、なんかトンとされるっていうのが面白いですね。
あ
Actually, it was Mr. Miyamoto that designed the robots that are in this game.
あ、なんかね、ファミコンロボットみたいなのを鉛筆でシュッシュって書くと、本当に紙にペラペラって書くと、デザイナーがすごいのを作ってくれるんです。
Yeah, they asked me to just draw quickly on the paper what I wanted, and I drew something that looked vaguely like the old NES Rob the Robot. And the next thing I knew, the designers had just put it into the game.
That's
で
awesome.
ステルスっていうのはね、ちょっと忍者みたいでしょ。
And the stealth robots we designed to look kind of like ninjas.
忍びってこう感じで書いてある。
You can see that it's like they've got the word shinobi, which is the nin from ninja, on their arms.
I think it's really fun that you have to trust your friends that you're playing with, because if they want to mess you up, they can really mess you up when you're playing this game.
そうですよね。その周りにいる人たちに信頼感がないとなかなかうまくいかないですよね。
あ、邪魔をする人がいると。
邪魔をする人もいたら結構邪魔できますね。Yeah, because if people are lying, you're going to have a really hard time beating it.
Yeah, it's really hard. You can't, as one person, like keep track of all this when it's going on for a
Control
difficult
chaos.
game.
そうですよね。一人だけでは12個のカメラの画面を全部見切るっていうのがすごい難しいですね。Yeah, so that's exactly the point. You know, we've designed it so that you're trying to play on your own, but as you're having fun, your mom might walk by and point something out and give you a little hint or something.
Yeah, totally. I'm super excited to play this. I'm always excited about seeing new ways that the gamepad is being used. And you know, you see even here on the show floor, we've got people shouting out at us, and people are getting really invested when you see the main screen versus what the player is seeing, and having that sort of participation is really, really exciting.
まあそうですよね。そういうゲームパッドを使った遊びとしてはすごい充実してて、で大きな画面を見てみると、ここの会場みたいなところでもみんながあの画面を見てすぐ分かってすぐ参加したいんですよねって。Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so even if you're not playing yourself, it's very easy to just join in and kind of cheer on.
ゲームに慣れてなくても参加できるんですけども、このエディターもね、本当に簡単なんですよ。ピュッピュッピュッピュッって押すだけで作れるので、自分が作ったのを遊んでもらうし、彼が作ったのを僕が遊ぶみたいなことが簡単にできますから、これも楽しいです。
And as I mentioned on the Wii U gamepad screen at the end of a match, you can see the pattern that the robots came out in. That pattern is something that you can edit. So it's very easy for you to take the Wii U gamepad screen and edit and create your own robot invasion patterns, and then you can hand that off to someone else and have them try to play and defend the base against the robot invasion patterns that you created.
That is so cool.
That's going to get rough at
That's
the
gonna be
office.
really exciting.
It's going to be painful.
That's awesome.
Should we take a look at another go here? See how we do? Or?
もうあとちょっと時間がありますけれども、もう一回やりますか？
もう一回チャレンジしますか？
もしくは何かあとは説明したいことがありますでしょうかね。Well, so I lost, even though I designed the robot patterns, but we do have a unit out here on the show floor. So if you're here watching the presentation, it's right over there. And we hope that you'll go over and try out the hard mode and see if you can beat the hard mode.
That sounds like an excellent challenge.
These, I must say, you know, for me personally, like this is very exciting to be able to see sort of new takes on traditional game genres. You know, we have like a mech fighter essentially, and a tower defense game here that it's really a new way of that we haven't seen before. These type of games evolving, and it's really exciting as a gamer to be able to see that happen.
ゲーマーとしてこういう普段のジャンルがあって、そのジャンルのものとまた違う形で新しい遊びが生まれてくるっていうのが、ロボットは昔は格闘ゲームがあったんですけれども、これは随分
違う形の、格闘ができるっていう面白さがあって、今回のプロジェクトガードは、そういうタワーディフェンスというようなものがあるんですけれども、そういった要素があるのに随分違う遊びになっているっていうのも出来上がってますよね。
ですね。これ本当はね、N64 の頃に作ってみたんですよ。なかなか処理の時間が足りなくて、ちょっと完成しなかったので、それを Wii U になったので作ってみようって作ったんですね。
Yeah, so we actually started work on Project Guard back during the N64 days. We had a project back then that we were working on, but the N64 hardware wasn't powerful enough to do what we wanted to do. And so when we had the Wii U gamepad and the power of Wii U, we brought back that old idea and we were able to bring it to life on Wii U in this form.
That's
で
awesome.
これよくゲームをね停止するときにジャンルを書けって言われるんですけども、ジャンルってないのでニュージャンルって書いとけっていう話をしてます。
And of course, when we're here at E3 and we're preparing all of our materials, we always have to think, well, what's the genre for each game? And we looked at Project Guard and we said, well, there isn't a genre for this, so we just put the genre as maybe new genre.
Sure. There you go. New genre, new
Yes.
genre.
I think it's so fun how different the levels play each time depending on where you put the cameras too. Because I know we've messed around a fair bit in the office with just shuffling the cameras around, and suddenly it's a very different experience. And trying to figure out, like, okay, your camera's going to be far out on the periphery. Are you going to be guarding the first defense, or are you pulling everybody back in, or kind of scattering it around? But you really have to think about those angles when you're playing.
あとは面白いのが同じ迷路を何回も遊んでも毎回ねキャメラの位置だけを変えても、遊び方が変わってくるっていうのが結構面白さがあって、同じロボットのパターンでもキャメラの最初の位置が変わるとまた面白さが出るっていうのがいいですね。
なんか8ビットの頃のゲームってもうちょっとしかないのでみんなでいろんな遊び方をするのが楽しかったですよね。で今こんだけ技術が進んで綺麗なものが作れてもやっぱりその密度を濃く遊ぶっていうのも一つ興味があって。
So yeah, back in the what's interesting is back in the NES days, the games were very simple, and so people found a lot of different ways to play in those same games over and over again. And that's something that I'm particularly interested in, so that even when the hardware has gotten much more powerful, I still like the idea of people being able to go into a game and find a lot of depth to it and replay the game over and over again, even with something that has a relatively simple structure like this.
I think that's something that people have always appreciated about the sort of Nintendo genre. If we're talking genres, like honestly, there always seems to be an essence of key simplicity that people always, when you relive it every time, it can be new, it can be enlivening every single time over and over, and that's something that's always been very, very special.
ジャンルでいうと任天堂っていうジャンルもあるんじゃないかと思ってそういう遊びやすさがすごいシンプルで奥深さがものすごいあって、何回も繰り返して遊ぶっていうのがやっぱりそれが任天堂らしさっていうのがありますよね。
はい、ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much.
こういう遊びをね、これおそらくインターネットにつないで何をしていくか、だから多分オリジナルのロボット、さっきのジャイアントロボットもそうなんですけど、オリジナルのパーツとか、だから僕はもうこのロボットに自分でいろんなデカールを貼ってみたいんですけどそうデカールを集めて自分のすごい嫌がられるロボットを作るとか、そういうふうにすごいシンプルなゲームなんですけどみんなでそれを遊び込んでいくっていうことをやりたいなと思っています。
So yeah, if we were to take this game and use the internet to try to build on the gameplay, there's a lot of different ideas we have. We could do things like we're doing with Giant Robot, where you're able to customize your robot parts so that the robots that are invading are ones that you've customized, or maybe if what you wanted to do was put decals or stickers on your robots, maybe kind of change the design and make them look a little bit scarier, you could do that. I think there's a lot of different ways that we could take this game and expand on the basic idea by taking advantage of the internet or network gameplay.
Sure.
So I've got to ask, since folks are going to be able to play these games on the show floor, is there any advice you'll give them as far as strategy, anything that you tend to do as you're playing these games that might help out the folks who are trying it for the first time?
今回 E3 の会場でこの2つのゲーム触れる機会がありますけれども、特別にこういう戦略性のヒントとか成功するには何をすればいいかっていう何か一言はお願いできますでしょうか。
You know, I think what's key for Project Guard is really recruiting the folks around you to help out, and